everyone, and welcome to today's video. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, I am the Hermit Tarot and this is my YouTube channel. A massive thank you to everybody who is returning. It is so lovely to have you all here. This is going to be a pick a group tarot reading. If you can't already tell, we have 3 groups in front of us today. Now, I love this afternoon lighting, but don't worry, for the pick a group portion, I'm going to make sure you get a clear view of the cards themselves. So I'm just kind of using that afternoon lighting to kind of set the mood a little bit. It's a beautiful, beautiful light, especially when it comes through the crystals like that. So we're going to take advantage of that beautiful magic, and I will keep the camera where it is for now while I explain a little bit more about today's reading. Now, we're asking Spirit what your next unexpected change will be. And to be honest with you, this reading was inspired off of tower moments, the idea of tower moments, and a tower moment that I went through recently, which I will be talking about more in my next episode of Spirit Talks. I want this reading to be as helpful, informative, and healing as possible. So we are going to be asking Spirit what your next unexpected change is, and then we're going to identify what that main challenge in that change could be, what the main opportunity in that change could be, the main lesson, and we're going to get advice throughout the entire reading. So there's not going to be a dedicated advice portion. We're just going to get as much advice as we can throughout your entire reading. There will be an extended reading as well. In the extended, we'll be asking Spirit for information about what your next opportunity will be. So if the first part of your reading resonates, you're welcome to join me in your extended. I'll talk more about your extended though at the end of your readings. You got to pick a group first to get there. So let's get into it. Now we're going to pull you down a little bit so that we can get that out of frame, and look at how instantly brighter that is. So pulling the cards down, I'm going to show you the 3 groups that I have chosen for us today. So starting with group 1 over here. Group 1 has the Mystic Mondays Tarot deck, if it will focus. And you also have this smoky quartz crystal pointer, very, very beautiful. And group 1 in your deck, this is what the Tower card looks like. So if you feel drawn to this card, this deck, or this crystal, you'll be a part of group 1's reading. Next we have group 2. In group 2, you have one of my favorite decks. This is the True Black Tarot deck, a very dark deck, as you can see. It only shows light very rarely. I think I got it just then. How do I get it back? There. So it's a beautiful, beautiful deck. And this is what the Tower card looks like in this deck. I'm trying to make the colors shine a little bit. There we go. And you also have the opalite crystal, which is a man-made crystal, but a lot of people do find themselves drawn to these crystals. We have natural opals in Australia, but opalite itself is a man-made version. Just as beautiful though, to be honest. I think it's mostly glass, like silica. But it's just, yeah, I love having it. And I find that it's a conduit, so I have to cleanse it pretty frequently. So if you feel drawn to that deck, that card, or that crystal, you'll be a part of group 2's reading. And last but not least, we have group number 3 over here with the Dreamy Moons Tarot deck and this natural quartz crystal in my hand. Now, this crystal is very special to me, group 3, because I collected it myself from my father's land. If you don't know already, I'm Indigenous, and my father is not my biological father, but I've grown up with him and his customs and his family, who is my family, and this crystal came from his beautiful land here in Cairns, the Mullumbara Yidinji clan. So it's technically Goldsboro Valley. I need to say that because I know people from Cairns watch my videos every now and then, so it's Goldsboro Valley. So beautiful crystal, beautiful deck. This is by Dreamy Moons, and it is the one of her only tarot decks, I'm pretty sure. It's the Dreamy Moons tarot deck by Anna, who also goes by Dreamy Moons. And this is what the Tower card looks like in this deck. Anna is also a Australian resident, so a lot of Australian energy in this group. So if you feel drawn to this card, this deck, or this crystal, you will be a part of group 3's reading. Now, the dark colors are no coincidence. I love the aesthetic. We're going to go with a darker sort of aesthetic when it comes to the cards, but again, the main goal is to get you as much information, advice, and support about your next unexpected challenge, your next unexpected change. So take your time when selecting a group. If you already know which of these 3 groups you're feeling most drawn to, click on the timestamps in the description box below. I should also have a pinned comment with the timestamps in them. If you need more time, pause the video now or go back and watch me showing you each of the groups again. Otherwise, I will be playing a 1-minute meditation after this, which will help you connect to your intuition so that you can intuitively select a group that you feel most drawn to. I am going to be using the pre-recorded one, guys, so keep watching if you want to watch that. Again, once you know which of these 3 groups you're feeling most drawn to, click on the timestamps in the description box and join me in your reading. So the first thing I want you to do with me is to take in 2 deep, mindful breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to focus on clearing your mind. It's natural to have thoughts racing at this point. I want you to embrace each thought as it comes and let it slip as quickly as it came in. Focus on clearing and balancing out these thoughts so that they come and go without a desire to be attached to them. And now, with a rested mind, I want you to think of the first group that comes to your mind. It may be a number, it may be an object that I showed you. It could be a specific color, it could be a feeling that you felt when I showed you each of the groups today. When you are ready and when you feel confident, select your group and join me in your reading. Hi, my group 1s, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this Smoky Quartz crystal or this Mystic Mondays tarot deck, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome. I'm going to put these 2 up here because the first part of your reading is going to be me shuffling oracle cards. So I apologize in advance if you're not here for all this shuffling. You are more than welcome to skip ahead. I didn't want to pre-shuffle because I wanted to do it live for a change and just be kind of inclusive of that experience. So it's up to you whether you want to stay or whether you want to skip ahead. I won't have the skippable timestamps in the description box though, because that's just a lot of work, I'm not going to lie. So skip ahead until you see all the cards laid out in front of you if you want to. So Spirit, tune me into my beautiful group 1's energy. What is their next unexpected change? What is group 1's next unexpected change? I'm going to shuffle your cards out, but we'll reveal them together. Can I get another card from this deck? Okay, cute. I was going to say we'll reveal them together, but we just saw all of that together, didn't we? At the back of the deck here is the Celestial Uterus. Interesting. What can you tell? Okay. What can you tell group 1 about their next unexpected change? Okay. What can you tell group 1 about their next unexpected change, please, Spirit? What can you tell group 1? Thank you. got some cards that flipped, so I'm just going to correct those before we keep going on. What can you tell Group 1 about their next unexpected change? Ah! Okay, we'll take you. What can you tell Group 1 about their next unexpected change, please, Spirit? Is there any other messages for them in this deck for Group 1? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, my Group 1s, let's lay you out. All right. We're going to actually do them down here and then I'll lay them out. So your first card is from the Cosmos Oracle, sorry. Now this is one of my favorite Oracle decks, especially if you are someone who's into physics or astronomy. This is a really cool deck. First card we have is Eclipse from this deck. And we also have Photon. Next we have the Kim Kran's Wild Unknown Oracle. The first card we have is the Vision. So this is definitely something that you're not expecting, but it is a part of your overall vision. We have the Orphan as well. So the number 5 is very significant. This change seems to be a major theme in general. So it's definitely a true Tower moment. Let's have a look at this oracle. This is from the Aboriginal Dreamtime Oracle by Mel Brown. This is the Thirsty Earth card. From the Dreamy Moons, which deck is this actually? Affirmations, I believe. Yeah, Dreamy Moons Affirmations deck, we have I Open My Heart to Love. And from the Dreamy Moons Guidance, hang on, let me just double check I'm getting that right. Yeah, Cosmic Guidance Oracle deck, we have the Love, Allow It to Pour In and Out of You card. And last but not least, I might move those out if I can. I will zoom out. I'm just going to lay all the cards out first. So let us move that over there. I'm kind of running out of space on this deck, which is on this desk, which is crazy because it's actually a huge desk. All right. There we go. First card from this Celestial Bodies Oracle deck is Waning Crescent, if it is showing. And the second card is 8. Oh my gosh. There we go. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Let me zoom you out a little bit. There we go. That's a bit better. It's a little bit better. All right. So what am I feeling? Goodness me. Group number 1, those who chose this beautiful smoky quartz pointer. What is your next unexpected change? I'm just going to take a quick sip of my coffee. Also, got to show you the mug because how cute. First of all, the importance of this change seems to be something that is very necessary. Spirit is saying there were a lot of warning signs, as there usually are with Tower moments, of this impending change, but it definitely feels unsolicited. It feels like you did not want this change to happen when it did, very unexpected, and therefore it could be quite catastrophic in how it causes change because you did not expect it, you did not ask for it, you did not want for it, and yet here it is. This change does involve a long-term vision, a goal, plan, a manifestation that you set for yourself, but you put it in a place where it always felt out of reach. It always felt like it was just that little bit too far, Group 1, that it wasn't quite achievable and that it was just out of your grasp. This is actually something that is achievable, and that's why this unexpected change is happening, because it's about bringing the unachievable into the achievable. Spirit is saying that this change is about tangible change, physical change, material change, ensuring that you aren't cutting yourself too short with your expectations and with your goal setting. This change has a lot to do with ensuring that you are physically in a better place. It will impact probably your lifestyle, possibly your career, but again, the goal is what you surround yourself with. So it may also impact connections. This change has everything to do with your physical placement with thirsty earth here. And so there may be this idea of changing up your physical location, moving house, moving countries, moving states, moving towns or cities to ensure that you are in a place that physically supplements your growth. There is this feeling of being a product of your environment in this group. And this tower moment, this unexpected change, is about placing you in an environment that produces more abundance for you, and so that you can be a product of an abundant environment, not a sterile one. It's very important that you are surrounded by references in terms of people, interests, media, and anything that is around you, basically, that is inspiring. You have to have references around you that make you want to aspire to be more, and that show you that these impossible things are possible. And so that's why this unexpected change seems to be quite impactful, because it seems to be physically moving you. With this 8 here, there is an energy of something coming full circle and you potentially having a few ups and downs before this change can take place. While it feels unexpected, it also feels like it is concurrent from a previous transformation, as though one thing wasn't really addressed well, and therefore this now has to happen. The oracle cards are indicating a cyclic change here, something that has been happening for some time for you, my group ones. And therefore I do think that a lot of you will kind of go, well, shit, I kind of saw this coming. Actually, now that I think back, this was probably inevitable for X, Y, and Z reasons. The biggest part of this change in terms of advice that Spirit can offer is to stay receptive. As difficult as change can be when we've been conditioned to expect stability and to expect consistency, being receptive and open to this change is going to be the most helpful advice and state of mind to be in, because I do think that your transition does not have to be any more difficult than it already is. And I do think that things will start to progress for you extremely quickly once you start to see that, okay, this kind of sucks because it wasn't a part of my plans, because it has caused a lot of change, but I can see how this is more in line with a bigger vision. And even if I don't understand that vision or the steps that it takes to get there, I can understand how a change was inevitable. And it does feel like your only form of like kind of reconciliation, or just being able to be at peace with this unexpected change, stems from you recognizing that things did have to change eventually. You may not agree with how it has happened. You may not understand why it has happened this way, why it had to be so catastrophic and unexpected. But you will be able to understand that, well, change was inevitable here. And so being receptive to that change and staying open to where this change is directing you is your biggest advice. I do think that with this waning crescent here, this change has a lot to do with something coming full circle for the best, in that there's a lot of new potential coming out of this. And I say that as your reader. I'm not saying that because I don't want you to be blindly optimistic about this. I'm not saying that you should switch and shut down all your feelings and just pretend to be happy about this. No. What I am saying is I can see a brand new beginning, a clean slate, a brand new baggage-free beginning for you on the other side of this unexpected change. Something that causes feelings of liberation, relief, a reduction of responsibility and stress. You seem to be able to just breathe better. And that could be because of your environment. Some of you could be switching it up, going from a city to a rural lifestyle, or from a busy mega city to a smaller township, or a city that offers the lifestyle that you've been meaning. Some of you could be switching up your hours at work, or you could have to, because it feels like it's out of your control, you could even be laid off of work. knowing that actually a little while ago you set a manifestation of wanting to be in an environment that offers abundance. And how could you do that if you were swallowing and drowning in the cyclic pressures of your pre-existing job? I do think that this is about restoring work-life balance for this group. So I do think that this change is very much about connecting back to some sort of intention that you've set for yourself, which seems to be honored by your guides. I feel like this is a dream that is being orchestrated, or at least supported by a loved one who has passed and who wants better for you. They've seen your struggle, they've seen your hustle, they've seen your challenges, they've seen the physical toll that this has taken on your body, and they want you to have relief. They want you to feel less burdened, less pressured, less stressed. They want you to live long, is what I'm hearing. And they may have said that to you as well when they were ready to pass. They may have said, Group 1, I just want you to live a long and happy life. And then as they transitioned into this other space, into the next, oh my God, it's making me a little bit teary, they realized how much pressure you're actually under. And so I do think that you have a loved one on the other side who's helping orchestrate this for your highest good, to ensure that you are in a space that can offer you the relief that you actually need right now. It doesn't feel like you want it, Group 1. You don't want this change. You're happy to keep pushing and doing things the hard way, because you are seeing some results, because you are experiencing some success. But your loved one is saying that this is an unmeasurable or inconceivable amount of success waiting for you on the other side of this change. And I do think that for some of you, this change is about bringing you around people that can offer you a lot of meaningful connection, support, and harmony. It feels like these are more than just relationships. These are like soul bonds. These are deep and meaningful connections of friendship and partnership and companionship, especially if you have been feeling lonely. I don't think that's the case for all of you. I think for some of you, you have children, you may even have a partner, but this change is about bringing that harmony to your circle. And if you are someone who is responsible for others, that is like a carer or a parent, this change will positively impact those as well that are dependent on you. It is about bringing happiness to your entire close, I want to say household, but those who are in your close circle. So let us get some tarot out now. This is where it could get a little messy because I'm just going to lay tarot directly over this. I have a deck to clarify too if we need to. Is there any specific information you can offer Group 1 when it comes to what their next unexpected change is about? Okay, first off, we have the Knight of Wands coming out. Is there any other? We have two cards. We've got the Knight of Swords reversed and the Judgment card reversed. Yeah, this feels like something coming full circle for sure. We have the Five of Cups, and at the back of the deck we have the Hanged Woman, who I will be putting back up here in her little corner. Let me just drink some water. Unfortunately, that caffeine has made me thirsty. Okay. I just got that bloody Seinfeld reference. What is the line again? These nuts are making me thirsty. Or these walnuts are making me thirsty. These peanuts are making me thirsty. I can't remember what it is. But some of y'all, that could be a sign of who this loved one is. They loved watching Seinfeld, or they quoted it a lot. They don't have to be an older person, but they care about you a lot, and they are a loved one. So I do see with this Judgment card here that this is a big part of a promise that was made to a loved one, or a promise that was made to an older version of yourself. Take that as it resonates, because Judgment is here to say we have to finish what we started. and we have the chance now to do something that we've always wanted. And because you couldn't physically make it happen through conscious action, the universe is saying, well, energetically, I'm here to stir it up, to shake it up, and to make it happen for you. And this is the difference between like attracts like versus what goes around comes around. You put this energy out there a while ago now, and maybe you've been in survival mode with your thriving moments, with your moments of feeling like, okay, I can breathe now, before you go back in and hold your breath and just push yourself to your limits. The universe is honoring their side, and they're trying to bring you something that you energetically aligned with previously. And it's this idea of ensuring that they're investing in you, if that makes sense. Because when you get into this new space of thriving and abundance, you are going to be a pillar of positive energy for the universe to filter out into those around you. So I do think that your loved one is really orchestrating this because they know that it's going to have a knock-on effect of you being a person of uplifting vibration for those around you. And you may not consider yourself to be as impactful. You may consider yourself to be a nomad or someone who is quite isolated and just sticks to your small circle. But we are all very, very, very connected, energetically especially, without even saying anything, without even leaving our homes. Thanks to the internet and thanks to the idea of being separated by the 6th degree, we are all connected. Those in your circle are connected to others in their circle, who's connected to others in their circle, in their circle, in their circle, etc., etc. Your energy is what I feel the universe is investing in here. Because I do think with this Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords reversed, this is going to impact more than just yourself. This change is very much about bringing back a sense of purpose, of passion, of travel, of experience, big sort of sacral chakra energy, 9th house energy. Bringing back a sense of purpose and educating you by exposing you to new experiences, making you thirsty and passionate for life again, making you want things that you haven't wanted in a while. And to those on the outside, they might be saying, Group 1, you're going through like a midlife crisis or a quarter life crisis or a 3/4 life crisis. They could be, people might not really understand. But I do think that those who know you, who have known you for a very long time, are going to go, wow, Group 1, you finally got your fire back. And some of you could have creative sort of flares to you that people who know you for a while have seen through your expression, if you're artistic, or through how you move with your actions, being passionate. What you're doing is going to inspire a lot of people around you as well. And others, may not take action as you have, but that is nothing to feel responsible for. It's this idea of your actions offer others the thought of inspiration, and it's up to them ultimately to take action on that. So what is this unexpected change? It involves a relocation. It involves some sort of physical movement, some sort of physical travel. It involves unexpected planning and maybe even feeling frustrated and having a breakdown in a certain relationship with this Knight of Swords reverse. You may end up having some I'm hearing choice words, but like an argument, or you may end up butting heads with somebody because of this unexpected change, and trying to use some sort of documentation as a backup, as saying like, well, actually this, and this. But I do think that ultimately with the Knight of Swords reversed, you are going to be separating yourself from people and isolating yourself from people. These are people who I feel you didn't want, but there was an attachment there based on what has transpired in this change. That attachment is no longer there. The Knight of Swords reverse could also be about needing to take impulsive action that you have not planned or prepared for, or reacting to something that you have not planned or prepared for. So you're having to just kind of make it happen without having any preparation. Now, I do want to add, with the Judgment card being here, You're only given as much as you can handle. I'm not trying to scare you. We're going to get into more information about the challenges and the opportunities and the lessons. But I do want you to know that these two cards are telling me that these are things that had to go. These are conversations that had to happen. These are actions that needed to be taken. And it does feel like you're operating extremely well in what I feel could be a crisis situation of having to think really fast. I do believe with the Judgment card reversed and the Five of Cups, you're going to be making emotional changes based off of this unexpected change. You're going to be having conversations with people about your change in circumstances that is going to show you very clearly where you stand with them. Because on one side, some people are more than ready to move through this transition with you, and on the other side you're having to leave people behind and let people go. And again, it may not be forever, but it also feels like it needs to happen for certain individuals who cannot transition forward with you. So I do believe that this is a promise that you made to your old self that is being fulfilled and forced upon you. And I also believe that this is something that people who have known you for a very long time can understand and respect that you need to do. It has to do with a physical relocation, which could be an extended break or holiday, or a physical relocation into a new area. It also has to do with a breakdown in a relationship, potentially having an argument or needing to refer to some sort of contract. And it could also have to do with you walking away quite suddenly, needing to take action that you did not plan or prepare for. It's going to be something that makes you go, wow, I remember when I said I wanted this and now it's happening. And it's going to be something that you have to explain to your close circle as being the right thing that you needed to do in a difficult situation. So let's have a look now at what your main challenge is going to be with this unexpected change. What is Group 1's main challenge with this unexpected change? The Queen of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, believing in yourself, standing up for yourself and having confidence. That's your main challenge. The Devil card. At the back of the deck, we have the High Priestess. So self is the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge here seems to be believing and trusting in yourself and respecting the choices that you make. You may feel a little bit in the dark naturally, especially if you're dealing with a situation you didn't plan for, like obviously. But I think with the High Priestess, your biggest challenge is just trusting yourself. Knowing yourself enough to know that you can handle this. You've got this in the bag, my Group 1s. With the Queen of Wands here, you're an incredibly creative, resourceful person. I think you cope pretty well under this kind of pressure. Again, we're only given what we can handle. And you're also incredibly supported by your higher self, by your loved ones who are here in our physical realm and who are not here, but rather in our energetic realm, supporting you from the other side. You also need to trust that we do live in a universe that operates off of abundance. Now, I don't know if we all believe that. I'm not here to argue that. But in this case, I can see with the Nine of Pentacles that this is going to work out to be better for you. As difficult as that could be to see, you're going to achieve a lot more success, a lot more abundance, a lot more growth, and a newfound sense of independence. You may have been feeling like you were working for other people or living for other people. A big part of this change is gaining independence, self-sufficiency, and being able to expand further, because you're only having to really create and rely on yourself. Even if you have dependence, you're not having to be dependent on somebody else. So I feel like you are elevating into a leadership role here. And I also think that you are in an active creativity role. So some of you are creating your abundance, your prosperity, your resources. Your biggest challenge may be resource management initially with the Nine of Pentacles as you adjust to these changes, as you reassess your available resources. But I also think that another part could be, as you experience positive growth, there could be a little bit of imposter syndrome. You could be feeling guilty because maybe this change impacted multiple people and you're doing a lot better than they are. So some of you could experience imposter syndrome and feel like, dang, like I didn't really deserve this, like survivor's guilt. Why did I have to, go on to become something better because of this unfortunate and somewhat destructive event? The Devil card is interesting as a challenge because the Devil card in your case seems to be representative of some sort of instant gratification. So for some of you, you're feeling challenged by the fact that there's two ways that you could come out of this. And I think you know yourself really well. So I don't see you like going off the railings, but some of you are afraid that you will. You could be telling people in your circle, now that I don't have a job, or now that I'm, living a low impact lifestyle, I'm very afraid of going off the rails because I feel like I don't have accountability anymore. Now that I'm in charge of my work hours, I'm worried that I'm just going to sleep all the time and not get any work done. And so I feel like you may be painting yourself out to be the villain. And it may be hard for you to see yourself as being capable, resourceful, and ultimately accountable. It may be hard for you to see this change initially as positive, flexible, and ultimately something that gives you the independence that you deserve right now. Instead, you may go, well, I'm worried I'm just going to fall off the, wagon because now I have nothing kind of holding me accountable. But you're very good at holding yourself accountable, and you're very aware of what you need, because ultimately, I think this is what you don't realize is in the past, your previous circumstances, especially if it has to do with a job or a lifestyle or even a partnership, they haven't actually been attentive towards your needs. They may have tried to be flexible towards your needs, but nobody ultimately knows what your needs are except for you. And unless you can communicate that and they can be receptive towards that, we just can't expect people to guess or to cover that. So I feel like that's the biggest change here. And the biggest challenge, should I say, is that you're very capable, but I think you're very good at beating yourself up as well. So let's have a look at what the main opportunities are to come out of this. Okay. Group 1. What are the main opportunities to come out of this? For group 1, what are the main opportunities? We have the 10 of Cups. What are the main opportunities? We have the 2 of Swords reversed. What are the main opportunities? And we have the Knight of Pentacles. I'm going to move this over a little bit because we have one more card. And we have the 8 of Cups as well. At the back of the deck is the High Priestess again. She didn't get very far, did she? Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. All right, so a huge opportunity is a stronger connection to self, a stronger sense of self. You're going to be a lot more aware of what your needs are, of what your intuition is, what it's trying to tell you, the many layers to it. Strong Ajna energy, third eye energy. There's also this strong sense of acceptance of self as you decipher through those challenges of being a bit too hard on yourself at times. You're going to be a lot more accepting towards all of your characteristics, behaviors, natures, and you may even cultivate new traits that you're a lot more proud of, while also being more accepting of the other traits that you're not so proud of. Because the truth is, you're going to humanize yourself a little bit more. You're going to get yourself out of this cog in the machine mentality and recognize that actually we aren't all built the same. Those machines don't operate well for us because we are built different. We don't just kind of get pushed out of one machine and into another. Like, nature isn't like that. We're all unique, thank God. With this 10 of Cups here, a huge and powerful opportunity is what I said before: connection, harmony, support. People who genuinely, like, it goes beyond, oh, that's my friend. Oh, that's just my brother. Oh, that's just my cousin. Oh, that's actually my cousin's partner. Yeah, but she's kind of like my friend. Yeah, we're really close. No, it's going to be more than that. People are going to be around you and these people and go, holy shit, like, you guys just click. Like, you get along really well. These are like soul vibes, like people who just, you don't have to explain yourself to, my group ones. Deep and meaningful, loving connections. And there's more happiness in a family dynamic as well. So like I said before, if you resonate as someone who is dependent, or who has dependence, should I say, people who have dependence, who are carers or parents, or if you live in a structure in which, you know, you have extended family staying with you and you're responsible for them and their welfare, there will be more harmony and more peace in that family dynamic, or in that system of which you are dependent or have dependence. Now, with the Two of Swords reversed, a huge opportunity is being more certain of what is happening around you in your life. You may get out of a situation in a way that feels very uncomfortable and unexpected, only to realize that actually, like, I have so much more control over my circumstances now. I know what's going to happen to me at 9 o'clock today, at 12 o'clock today, at 5 o'clock today. I'm much more in control of my environment, of my life. You're going to feel more in control of your narrative, for lack of a better explanation. It feels like you're writing your own story now. And that could be scary at first, because there is this feeling of, again, like, you have to be accountable, and oh my gosh, like, why did I sleep in until 11 o'clock today? Like, the old me would have never. Like, I'm used to getting up at 7. Just be patient with yourself as you adjust to the natural ebbs and flows of the human experience. We're actually not supposed to be so strict, structured, and rigid with things that are as natural as sleeping. I do believe that there is going to be a huge adjustment period in being able to see all of that as a positive, because it is going to feel like it's been taken away from you at first, like you're missing out on that stability, that structure, before you sense the freedom that you've been granted in exchange. So with the Knight of Pentacles being here, I'm really trying not to repeat myself, but a lot of these opportunities are basically the flipped of those challenges, like the flip side of those challenges. So this Knight of Pentacles reversed has a lot to do with, again, like paving the way, creating your narrative. But I think that a confirmation that what you did or what happened to you was for the best is going to be you realizing that, damn, like, if I didn't stop now, like, this would have gotten way worse. Nipping something in the bud and being able to recognize, well, gosh, I'm glad I stopped. It could have to do with your health for the Nine of Pentacles to be here, group one. It could be very much about, well, listen, like, a GP could be sitting down with you and going, group one, if you kept working those hours, or if you kept pushing yourself, doing your after school this or after work that, and your extra this curricular on the weekends, your physical body was like this close to doing this, that, this, and that. I'm not going to even throw an example out there because I don't want to scare you guys, but I do believe that you're going to recognize that something had to change on a physical level, or you would have hit a physical breaking point. And I think a huge opportunity is being able to redirect that energy, that effort, and that consistency in a different direction. You're a hard worker is what's coming through. I feel like group one, you're someone that is very good at just sort of putting your head down and getting things done. But that energy is incredibly valuable and often abused by systems that don't recognize or reward hard work. And they just take advantage of it by achieving the same sort of outcomes or goals without pushing you up the ladder that you deserve to climb. So now I think that you're going to be able to have the opportunity to put that hard work, that consistency, into something that is going to pay out for you and not for somebody else. But it comes after you take a rest for yourself, after you give yourself the chance to kind of catch your breath and to be able to catch up on who you are right now and where you need to be right now. You don't need to put pressure on yourself. You don't need to make things harder than they need to be. Definitely give yourself a chance to rest first, and then use this as an opportunity to invest towards what you want. Now, I do think that some of you may have put this goal far, far into the future. You may have gone, well, I can't retire until I'm 70, and then you lose your job at 59, and you're kind of forced into this position of, well, do I just retire now? But I don't know if I'm ready yet. And the answers and the solutions are going to come to you as soon as you start to take action towards recovering from this unexpected change. Things I feel are going to fall into place quite quickly. I know that that seems a bit ignorant and arrogant to say because I am on the outside of all of this, but I just get this strong feeling that confirmation that this had to happen is going to come to you quite quickly. With the Eight of Cups being here, a huge opportunity is walking away from a situation, a person, a relationship, a job that was a huge drain on you. It was a taxing, emotionally taxing experience. You had to walk away from it. Not only was it emotionally unfulfilling, but it was actually draining you. And walking away actually feels like a success. Being able to leave that situation to focus on your happiness feels like a success, my group ones. A huge opportunity is recognizing what will make you happy, who is making you happy, and how you can make yourself happy. And then identifying, well, damn, I really wasn't happy in the past, and this wasn't making me feel good about myself, nor was it actually fulfilling my emotional needs, let alone my sense of self and gratification. And gratification is important for you because you do work really hard, group one. You deserve to be recognized for what you actually offer and contribute to any given situation. You deserve to feel seen by those around you, especially when you put so much effort towards your goals. And I think that that is what a big part of this Tower moment is going to be about. I'm talking as though it's already happened because I'm already like there with the opportunity side of things. So again, it may take a little while before you actually see the opportunities. You may be so focused on the change and on the challenges that you don't identify the opportunities immediately. Let's have a look now at the overall main lesson. What is the main lesson here? The main lesson seems to have a lot to do with photon and eclipse. Photon being a light particle, and the eclipse is blocking something out so that we can see better. So it's almost like we see better now. A huge lesson is being able to maybe take a step back and identifying when you're not coping and when you do need to take a break. And when you are just repeating the same mistakes or the same unhelpful blockages, and when your actions just aren't leading to your desired results, pivoting in order to continue success. And there's nothing wrong with being content and fulfilled by taking actions that are feeding into your content, but to your content feelings. But in this case, I just think that you weren't actually feeling that way. I just think that you weren't actually gaining that gratification that you deserve. So group one, please, Spirit, what is their main lesson? We have the Chariot. What is their main lesson? We have the Death card. Yeah, a lot of transformation. What is their main lesson? Group one, please, Spirit. We have the High Priestess again. I had a feeling she was going to come out again. So these are all major arcana, and they're all water signs as well. So we have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Literally, wow, in order of their appearance in the zodiac calendar as well. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. We also have the Three of Cups at the back of the deck. Yeah, interesting. So your main lesson is about incorporating opportunities for fun, ultimately being present and having joyful moments, not just joyful periods where you kind of go, well, in 3 weeks, I get to take 2 days off. In 3 months, I get to have a 1-week holiday. In 6 months, I get to go see my nephew. Or next year, I get to go visit my grandson. The Three of Cups is saying, take moments of joy and take moments to be present at every given opportunity on the regular. Daily, if not hourly, find chances to connect to your joyful presence. And for me, this is maybe unsolicited, but personally, I was someone who got really locked into the matrix, and I struggled to find my joyful presence again. I had to go through so many periods of being alone to recognize what I want and need in order to connect to that joyful presence. And then I realized it's very much about just connecting to your inner child. What made you happy when you were younger, when you had simpler, more innocent times, when you had way less responsibilities, and when you had way less stresses? What made you happy back then? Because ultimately, things may have changed, but those are the keys to finding your sense of joy right here, right now. Even if 50 years has passed since you were that person, even if 5 years and 3 babies have happened since then, it's very much about reconnecting to what used to make you happy in innocent, more simple times, because that's the key to finding that again and to finding those things, as well as recognizing that this isn't a chore. You don't have to make it hard for yourself. It's basically about what makes you smile and what doesn't, what makes you want to keep doing it and what doesn't, what brings you joy in that it raises your mood and makes you feel like you've lost a couple of seconds on the clock without even thinking, and what doesn't, you know? So with the Chariot being here, a huge lesson is about taking action, being bold, having courage, being determined, moving things forward when you want to, and basically believing in yourself to be able to do that again. The Chariot is a movement, action-orientated card, but it's also about having the confidence to do that, having the courage to do that, and recognizing that you have the ability to do that as well. The Death card is a lesson of transformation, of allowing things to come to an end so that we can rebirth into new beginnings, no matter how difficult that is, because it's not always easy, it's not always straightforward. 9 times out of 10, the Death card comes with a sense of loss and a feeling of having to rebuild. But ultimately, this is about transitioning forward and transforming into a new opportunity. So there is an acceptance here of how things need to end in order for new beginnings to happen. There is also wisdom here in learning more about natural cycles and how those can be applied to very unnatural conditions. We may assume that stability in our conventional society is something that is just guaranteed once you get to a certain point. But ultimately, nature always wins. And I think that this is a case of something very natural causing a reboot for you. With the High Priestess reversed, expect the unexpected. That is both the fear and the potential in being a human being or in being a natural being in this world. Expect the unexpected. And I do think the High Priestess reversed is also about just being receptive and open and reminding yourself that these changes may not always be solicited, wanted, but they do happen for our highest good ultimately. Once we take a step back and adapt to these new conditions, this new environment, this new lifestyle, this new routine, this new relationship, this new sense of self, we're being given an opportunity to create from scratch in many cases. So that is what I'm seeing for you, my group ones, when it comes to what your next unexpected change will be. I'm going to take this into the extended now, where we will focus more on your next opportunity. That could relate to this or it could not. It could be a small thing, it could be a big thing. If it is a quick thing, I'm going to try to get more information about other opportunities as well, just so that we're making good use of your time over there. So if this first part resonated and you would like to join me in your extended, the link is in the description box. It will take you to my website. The extended readings page on my website hosts all of the extended readings that I've posted for the last year and a half. So please make sure that you click on the right group. You are group 1 of your next unexpected change reading. Please make sure you select the right reading before you pay for it. It's your hard-earned money, sweet soul, so make sure it's going towards exactly what you want. Before you go, group 1, wherever you're going, thank you so much for all of your support right here on YouTube. It has been a joy to read for you. I wish you all of the best. I hope we were able to get some really clear information. I hope we were able to really delve deep and highlight everything that you need to know about what is coming next or what is happening now for you. Please look after your beautiful self. I wish you all the best, and I hope to connect with you in another video. Bye. And welcome to your reading. If you chose this beautiful opalite crystal or the true black tarot deck right here, then this is going to be your reading. Welcome. Here's what your tower card looked like in this deck too. I actually love this deck so much. Thank you for choosing it, group 2. I'm going to put your crystal up there, and we're also actually going to put your tarot deck up there too. I'm just going to give it a quick shuffle because this deck does get stuck every now and then. Now, in today's reading, group 2, we're asking Spirit about your next unexpected change. Now, we're going to be having a look at your main challenge in this change, main opportunity, and main lesson as well. But before we get into that, I do want to lay out some oracle cards, and I want to just make sure that we're getting the oracle cards out of the way, because tarot will help us get more specific, but the oracle cards are very insightful. And I've carefully curated a selection of cards for us as well. So I'm going to start shuffling those. Now, I didn't pre-shuffle. I kind of wanted you guys to be here for the experience. So do feel free to skip ahead if you don't have time for that. But if you are going to stay, I'll do it as concisely as I can. My group 2s, please, Spirit. What can you tell us about their next unexpected change? Okay, we have light curve coming out. What can you tell us about group 2's unexpected change? We have black body. That's interesting. I've never seen that card in this deck. We also have stratosphere at the back of the deck. Very crazy. Spirit, what else can you tell group 2 about their next unexpected change? For my group 2s, we're just going to take these apparently. We have the destroyer, very fitting. We have the threshold, interesting. And at the back of the deck we have the sword. The sword. All right. What else can you tell group 2 about their next unexpected change? What else can you tell group 2? We have Gemini. And we have Earth. Interesting. The back of the deck we have Leo as well coming out. So Earth is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, just in case you need me to help there. I'm also seeing the number 23, and we have 45. What else, Spirit? Can you tell group 2 about their next unexpected change? What else can you tell? So this deck that I'm using right now is the Dreamy Moons, let me double check. Dreamy Moons Cosmic Guidance deck. This is the Celestial Bodies Oracle deck. That is Kim Kran's Wild Unknown Oracle deck. And then this is Cosmos Oracle. So from the Dreamy Moons Cosmic Guidance deck, we have Caution, Keep Your Guard Up. These cards are beautiful. I open myself to guidance from the universe. I got these decks from Tarot Stack, by the way. Actually, I think I got all these decks from Tarot Stack, except for Kim Kran's. At the back of the deck, we have Speak Up, Use Your Voice to express yourself. I have a link to Tarot Stack in the description box. It is an affiliate link, so it lets Tarot Stack know that you've accessed their website from my link specifically. Spirit. What else does group 2 need to know about their next unexpected change? I hate talking business while I'm doing readings, if I'm honest with you. I'm in perfect balance. Cute. The back of the deck we have, I silence my mind and listen intently. And I think I just have one more deck, this beautiful deck. It's the, actually that deck that I just used before, another Dreamy Moons deck. It's the Affirmation Cards deck. This one is the Aboriginal Dreamtime Oracle by Mel Brown. What else can you tell my group 2s? There's a card in here, but it's, there we go. I was about to say, it's so slippery. We have Patience. Let me just move these up a little bit. Is that the way? Yeah, that's a bit better. We've got the afternoon sun coming through now as well. A little bit inconvenient, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. All right, so hidden learning, interesting. My group 1's got some of those cards in their extended reading. You will have an extended as well, but we'll talk about that at the end. Let me bring my crystals over. So group 2, this is very insightful because I feel like your next unexpected change has a lot to do with uncovering things that have felt like they were lingering just below the surface. Some of you, this isn't entirely unexpected because it feels like you've been waiting for this to be revealed to you for some time. And I think that this is the clarity that you were hoping for. You were hoping to be able to uncover this. It feels like you are literally uncovering some sort of truth. And I do feel some throat chakra activation here. So a lot of you will have the opportunity to communicate and to work through these changes through communication. Even though these feel unexpected, there is an element here of expressing and in being more authentic as well. But it's the kind of authenticity that we gather through Leo's courage, not through simply communicating with Gemini's wit. It's like you have to also find a way to embody your authenticity with your courageous actions in order to gain the outcome that you deserve. I almost feel like you're being judged based on your reaction to this truth. And for some of you, it could feel like this unexpected change is more of like a performance. Well, it's not so much what you say, but how you say it and how soon you do it. It's like you're being analyzed or kind of studied for the way that you respond and how you do it. So the best way that I would describe it is, it almost feels like if you have the courage to step up and say like this, and this, I'm not happy with how this is going. I'm actually, to tell you the truth, I wasn't going to sit back and say nothing. I just needed some time to collect my thoughts, and I'm a little bit offended by how you've done this and how you've done that. It's like you gain an immediate sense of respect from whoever you're communicating to because you had the courage to stand up and speak your truth. I definitely feel that this unexpected change is about being brave, and it is also about being able to show whoever this is who's presenting you with the truth who you are. And I feel like there's a lot of pride in that. I'm not going to lie, this feels incredibly empowering, and it feels like you are finally getting to voice exactly who you are. So the best way that I can kind of describe how this situation seems to go down is, I feel like you perceptively picked up on this situation building. You noticed little tidbits of, well, they didn't do this, they did that, this person's slowly done this more, they've done this less. This situation has been slowly sort of building into something, and I can sense now that there's going to be a culmination or some sort of climax. So you've been picking up on this unexpected change. I just think that you've been waiting to hear what that information is. Now, what I can tell you is things are going to have to change once this all comes to a head. With the Destroyer and the Threshold cards here, it's very important that we use this information to break down barriers, not to destroy that which should be protected, but to actually get rid of whatever is false, whatever doesn't serve us, and whatever is not meant for us to proceed. And I definitely feel like we are destroying illusions, we are destroying lies, and we are doing that by speaking our truth and by taking action that stands up for ourselves with integrity, by sticking true to who we are, and by protecting that which is important to us. The threshold is very much about finding that way forward. And I almost think that you needed this unexpected change to happen in order for you to find a way out and forward. I do feel like there's a bit of scariness in that. There's naturally going to be fears because we are disrupting some sort of status quo or stability. But I also feel like your spirit is just coming alive. Like, I'm almost scared for whoever has to face you when shit hits the fan, because you've got your guns locked and loaded. Like, you're ready for this war. You're ready for this battle. Your swords are sharp and your weapons are loaded. Like, you're ready. So whoever you're coming up against, they are not anticipating this reaction. And like I said, there's an immediate sense of like, wow, respect, group 2, because I didn't think you had it in you. But I can see with these 2 cards from the Cosmos Oracle that it's very much about you exposing your own truth against somebody else's version of the truth. So this unexpected change is going to illuminate how you have not been on the same page as somebody. And I think that this is about defending your character, but it's also about defending your choices and making better choices for yourself moving forward, because you're recognizing how in this situation, your choices in the past were not fully informed. You did not have all the information from this person's point of view. So now you can make better informed decisions and choices for yourself, having more of that information. I can see with I'm in perfect balance and patience here that it's very important for you to remain somewhat strategic and diplomatic. I definitely think that this is a group who will have their explosion of truth, but then needs to quickly go into objective mode, where you are very much focused on just finding some sort of balance and getting back into some sort of harmony, at the very least for yourself. Patience could be in reference to the build-up as well as the outcome. This unexpected change has a lot to do with you just getting back into a more balanced state and finding maybe a sense of harmony as well as peace. But I do think that this is impacting a relationship. I do think that this unexpected change is essentially revealing maybe some dead weight, how you were carrying a load that you shouldn't have in a relationship, taking on too much responsibility due to the lack of information. And I think that you're going to feel a sense of relief, as though you've been unburdened by this truth. I can also see with patience here how a lot of you, this unexpected change is really calling for you to tap in to your inner wisdom. Unfortunately, I don't think this is the first time that you've been through a situation like this. This isn't my first rodeo, is what I'm hearing, which is why I feel you're somewhat prepared, because either you've been perceptive and observant towards the signs and you've been anticipating something like this to happen, Or, unfortunately, you've been through a very similar situation with a previous person in your life as well. And so there is this message here of tapping into your inner wisdom before you react and not taking action out of that primary hurt place, that frustrated place. I can also see with Gemini in shadow and Earth over here that there will be a feeling of grounding yourself. This change is putting you back into the basics, maybe tapping into your root chakra energy and your sacral chakra energy, being creative and expressive and passionate, while also ensuring that you feel safe, secure, and healthy. Tapping into a routine that works for you amidst all of this change and chaos, while giving yourself room to feel like you can still thrive within your nature. So I wouldn't be surprised if this unexpected change is impacting your routine, maybe switching things up for you, changing your priorities a little bit. But I definitely think for Earth to come out with Taurus and Virgo on top and Capricorn down here, we're having a big restructuring of responsibilities. We're kind of maybe even thinking about changing careers because of this. We're even thinking about, well, where does my loyalty lie? Because I did not get my facts right. So now I have to restructure my social circle. I have to rethink how I communicate. You may even seek legal counsel, and your legal counsel could say, well, withhold all communication and just, filter it through me first, and then I'll express it from there on. You could be seeking mediation or some sort of person who can intercept communication so that it's not direct, with Gemini being in shadow. You're definitely pulling back, keeping your guard up with this card, going into defense mode a little bit, but not because you are struggling. It's because you are wise and you know that you need to really take steps meaningfully, intentionally, and strategically. Unfortunately, this is not your first rodeo, is what I'm hearing. So now I want to get the Cosmos Oracle deck to clarify these two cards, because this is a deck that is heavily influenced by physics. And I did not study physics. I love it. I'm fascinated by quantum physics, especially. Speaking of quantum physics, I just knocked over my decks. But for the most part, I intuitively read that deck. I'm a very intuitive reader. If you're new here, if you've been here for a while, you've probably guessed that. Look at this. Every single moment is another cosmic chance. How cute. I love this deck so much. All right. We're looking for black body. Imbalance between giving and receiving. It absorbs all light and energy which hits it. Nothing is reflected or can pass through this opaque body. Its surface quickly absorbs all electromagnetic radiation, which hits it before a longer process of emitting it. It has a spectrum and intensity that is solely determined by the temperature of the body. In other words, the radiation that the black body decides to emit depends on itself only and its own surface's nature. Sorry, my mouth is not cooperating, but basically, this is the example of the sun. It only takes 2 seconds to cross the radius of the sun at the speed of light, but in reality, it takes about 1 million years for the energy produced at the center of the sun to be released. This time is incomparably greater, as the energy takes a random path which is incessantly interrupted by the absorption and re-emission of photons. So there are 2 different times for giving and receiving. The time that a photon needs to directly cross the radius of the sun, and the actual time it takes for the energy produced at the nucleus to escape to the surface. Wow. Giving and receiving. I definitely think with that card reversed, you were not on the same page with this person. This was not a situation that was equal. This was very much a situation in which somebody was taken advantage of, and you're both probably going to feel very hurt. You're both going to have your own versions of the truth, but you are deciding, this is unfair and I need to restore balance in my life. I need to focus on equal partnerships. I need to put my guard up with this person, and I need to destroy the illusions and the things that no longer serve me. That's also very fascinating information about the sun, though. On the flip side, let's have a look at light curve now. Speaking of light curve, I'm filming in the afternoon, so the light is doing crazy things for our spread, but thankfully I do have some backup artificial lighting, so hopefully it's not too disruptive having the natural light stream through as well. Light curve, a changeable wave, embrace the changes. The variation of the brightness of an object over time. It provides information about the physical processes occurring, or that occur. I think there's a typo there. The process will be beneficial as it is luminous, but its stability will vary in intensity. Since the path is not linear, it is important to remember that this is at the bottom of the wave. The light will shine again. This memory will prevent resignation or abandon from what happens while the wave is changing. Knowing that hope should not be abandoned. We cannot predict how the adventure will unfold. Navigate the fluctuating waves and adapt to the changes along the journey. This will be key to progress. Versatility is key. So listen, with that card reversed, like, I'm just feeling like I don't want this change, you know? Like, yes, we've had our ups and downs, but like, some of y'all are resigning. Some of you are needing to take space away from this fluctuation to understand what you need to do for self right now. So I don't think you're giving up completely. That's probably why we have patience here. You're just recognizing that I need space because a boundary was crossed. And for now, like, I need to take space. And I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I need to focus on what I can control. So it's not that you are giving up. I feel like you're just going, this ride is too much for me. This roller coaster is too much for me. I need to pull back and I need to be able to focus on what I can control. So let's move those cards up. I don't want to pack them up because I want them to be in the background as like a addition, a helpful energy. And it's time to ask now what your main challenge throughout these unexpected changes is going to be. Spirit, what is Group 2's main challenge throughout these unexpected changes? Mine is shuffling this deck, apparently. We have the Four of Cups coming out first. What is group? We have the Nine of Cups, or is that our beautiful Six? This is the Nine of Cups reversed. Four of Cups upright, Nine of Cups reversed. What is Group 2's main challenge? With this unexpected change, we have Hanged Man reversed. And at the back of the deck, we also have the this is the Seven of Swords in the reverse position too. So listen, this is a lot. So it is going to vary depending on your history with this person, your history in this situation with this person. Some of y'all, this is just a situation in which you had high hopes for and there wasn't too much history, but you had a lot pegged on this person and you thought like, well, I have a lot to look forward with them. Like, things haven't always been easy, but it's going to pay off. And for others of you, this is somebody who's been in your life for a very, very long time. You had a lot riding on them and the success of the two of you. Your biggest challenge is the hard feelings, honestly. You're going to feel like you can't trust them. With the Seven of Swords reversed, you may even feel like there are other people in your life that you can't trust. This is a situation that is going to trigger wounds around your trust and how people betray that sense of loyalty that you have, and you're almost going to feel naive. You're going to say to yourself, how did I miss the signs? The biggest challenge here is understanding why they did the things that they did and understanding why they said the things that they said. You're going to have a hard time understanding and interpreting their behavior. And I think that the biggest challenge here is going to be trying not to take that personally, trying not to see it as something that is personal towards you, your character, and your development. It is actually more of a reflection of this person's current position in time, where they're at, what they're focused on, and where they want to be. And I do think that with the watery cards over here, actually all of these cards are watery, these three cards. The Hanged Man is strong Pisces, Nine of Cups, we've got Sun energy, we've got a little bit of Scorpio, but I also see my Nine of Cups as having like a Cancerian vibe. And then I also have the Four of Cups here, which is very Cancer and Pisces vibe. So I just wonder if your biggest challenge is the hard feelings. You're going to wonder how you're supposed to be able to open up and form meaningful connections again. You're going to wonder how you're ever going to trust that much in anybody who you care about again. And I do think that the main challenge is being able to remove them from the picture, because you're going to want to peg a lot of the hard feelings on them without recognizing how this was happening for you and how this is about you just focusing on your side of the story, on your perspective, and not getting confused, concerned, and empathetic towards what they are going through. The Hanged Man reverse is saying this could be a repeating cycle or lesson for you, in which the point that gets lost in translation is that it is not about you in terms of how others treat you, but it is very much about how you allow yourself to get into these situations based off of the choices that you make. And I don't mean to shift blame here. I'm really sorry. I know that that's coming across as very harsh and hard. The message is clearly on the fact that the biggest challenge here is being able to see what information is helpful with the Hanged Man reversed. And when we get into that stuck energy, when we get to this point where we feel like there's no way out and everything that we can think about in terms of a solution is just causing more pain, it's mostly because we aren't focused on the solutions. We're only focusing on the problems, and we're trying to find remedies for the problems instead of simply looking at the openness of what a solution could look like by removing the problems altogether. So I do think that a main challenge is getting stuck in these hard feelings and victimizing yourself to the point where it's very easy to wallow in these hard feelings, and it's very easy to take things personally because it was a hurtful thing. I'm not taking away from that. It was a hurtful thing, and there is a lot of pain here, and you deserve to validate your feelings. But one of your biggest challenges is being able to gain clarity and perspective over your circumstances to be able to find your way out of these hard feelings. Some of you are going to feel like you wasted time, that you wasted emotion, and that you missed out on a lot of opportunities. You're going to be very stuck in the past, emotionally and mentally, thinking, why didn't I just do this? Why didn't I just do that? I missed out on this instead, and I did this instead, and I wish I did that. And all of the missed opportunities, all of the feelings of like, what a waste of time. And with the Nine of Cups reversed, you're also going to feel like you're worse off now than when you started. And you're going to find that very hard to get over as well. But I do think, like I said before, that a big part of your advice is to make sure that you are focused on what is in your control, and that you embrace the void, embrace the emptiness that this person's absence leaves. Because within that empty space, possibilities are endless. And so long as you are focused on solutions, on opportunities, you will be able to receive tenfold compared to what you lost. So let's have a look at what you will receive now. Let's have a look at your main opportunity from this situation. For my group twos, What is their main opportunity out of this situation? What is their main opportunities out of this situation, Spirit, for group 2? Okay. We have the 10 of Cups. You will lose some, but you win a lot. You win a lot. The 10 of Cups. What else can you tell them about their main opportunity out of this unexpected change? We have the 9 of Cups is now upright coming out for you. What else can you tell them? I'm hearing that I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier. Lately, I've been thinking. I don't listen to a lot of mainstream music, but that song is for you, sweet soul. We have the 8 of Cups coming out reversed, and at the back of the deck we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse position as well. I'm going to chuck him down here, and I'm going to put the rest of the deck out of frame because it is a lot. It's a lot. It's a big chunk of cardboard, and it's just taking up a lot of space. So let's take her out of the picture for now. Interesting energy with the Knight of Swords reversed. I think that the main opportunity is being able to kind of remove the unexpected, because I do think that it was a bit hard to understand what your next move was going to be when you're dealing with such an unpredictable opponent or an unpredictable energy. Maybe they weren't always an opponent. Maybe they were. We were just cut off by my camera. But as I was saying, your main opportunity is, I think that you're being able to remove an energy that was, for the most part, quite unpredictable or hard to understand, because the energy was quite impulsive or just maybe reactive. And so a main opportunity here is being able to understand or take more control of your environment and of your choices and of how you are going to move forward, because our Knight of Swords reversed is a feeling of being able to kind of slow things down. And I do think that this is also a reflection of reacting in a way where maybe you say some things that you regret, or maybe some things come out in a really harsh way. There could even be arguments, there could be screaming matches, but ultimately, with this Knight of Swords reversed, what is done is done. And there's a lot of peace in that sense of closure. So I do think that our Knight of Swords reversed is highly dependent upon finding an opportunity out of being able to slow things down and gain a different perspective by saying what needs to be said and uncovering the truth that needs to be addressed. So our 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 8 of Cups, like this is all about emotions. The challenges and the opportunities for you in this unexpected change are all about emotions. A major opportunity is in being able to return to something that you've wanted to build on emotionally, some sort of vision that you could have had for yourself. It's ultimately your happy ending, a milestone in which you wanted to achieve. So I do think that this has to do with some sort of union, celebration, togetherness. It could have to do with feeling supported by the right people in the right place. And I do think that the main opportunity could be even healing with a group of individuals that you missed. So family members, friends, people that you wanted to reconnect with. A major opportunity with the 10 of Cups is getting a sense of who is in your life to support you and who is here to be there for you. Even if you've had to walk away from some people in order to realize that. With the 9 of Cups, the biggest opportunity is being able to focus on your own happiness, on your own emotions, and on your own healing, on what is going to bring joy, fulfillment, and contentment to you. What is going to be able to raise your vibration, basically, and give you a more hopeful, positive, but also happy outlook on life without being blindly optimistic. I'm talking about just being able to sit with yourself in silence and feel good. You don't have to be grinning ear to ear, but just feeling good. So these are beautiful opportunities, and I can very much see how this is all about your emotional self. This unexpected change is about making sure that you feel happier, making sure that you feel good, and making sure that you are surrounded by people that want that for you as well. So let's shuffle these back in, and we're going to have a look at what your main lesson is going to be as well. For my group 2s, Spirit, what is their main lesson going to be out of this unexpected change? For my group 2s, what is their main lesson out of this unexpected change? For my group 2s. Okay, we got a card. 3 of Swords reversed. We have another card. The 10 of Pentacles reversed. What is another major lesson or a clue about the major lesson? Either or. We also have the Magician. Beautiful. At the back of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. I believe she is of Wands. She is of Wands. Yeah, because under that we have the Sun. Beautiful, fiery energy. So I do feel like your main lesson is very much about self, but it's also about creating and being able to use your tools, your information as resources to connect you to your desired outcome. Big manifestation energy, entirely focused upon believing in yourself, but also taking advantage of resources that are there to help you achieve. This could be about putting yourself back in the driver's seat so that you're not taking the passive step in life. You're not just sort of waiting for other people to fix it or figure it out for you. Making sure that you aren't underestimating your power, your influence, and also your role in designing the life that you want. You need to maybe take a more of an active approach. But with the 3 of Swords reversed, this lesson is very much about speaking when something doesn't feel right. Having these difficult conversations from the beginning before they even blow up into this. If something doesn't feel right, don't wait for it to get worse. Address it and nip it in the bud. Don't let it get to the point where it causes more pain than information. Because I think that this is something that you were perceptive towards from an earlier position. And instead of speaking, you were kind of just hoping that it would sort itself out. You were hoping that the other person would address it sooner, or you were hoping that if it was really bad, it would have materialized by now. And then when it did materialize, it was way worse than you could have possibly imagined. So this is about having those difficult conversations and making those difficult decisions as soon as we are given information to do so. Don't wait for more information. Don't wait for the obvious answer, because the obvious answer is a tower moment of destruction, chaos, and change that you did not sign up for. And ultimately, with the 10 of Pentacles being here too, this is about understanding how to contribute actions towards your desired outcome. If you want this, then everything that you physically do with your time should contribute towards that long-term goal. And I don't mean to say that you're not allowed to have fun along the way, but I do think that because of this unexpected change, your priorities are going to readjust, and you're going to go, you know what, actually, I don't even want that anymore. I need to readjust, and I need to consider what is important to me now in 10 years' time. What am I working towards now for the next 5 years? And where can I start to rebuild my life? I definitely feel like you're taking the manifestor role, but you're realizing that you may be running out of time, or you may be realizing that you've wasted a little bit of time. And I don't necessarily believe in that personally, but your lesson seems to be about how you use your time to get to your outcome, and how you no longer want to waste time doing little side quests with or for other people. I definitely feel like you're going to cut through a lot of bullshit, and you're just going to focus purely on what you need to do to get to who and where and what you want to be, basically. So that is what I'm seeing for you, my group number 2s. I think I'm going to leave your reading there. I'm pretty sure that's it. I do want to take you into the extended now. So in your extended reading, we're going to have a look at your next opportunities specifically. We're going to get as much information as we can about your next opportunities. So if the first part of your reading did resonate and you would like to follow me into your extended, the link is in the description box. You can click on that link to join me in your reading. However, it will take you to a page in which all my extended readings are hosted on my website. So make sure you click on the right reading before you purchase it. You are group 2 from the Your Next Unexpected Change reading on YouTube. So click on the group 2 extended reading for Your Next Unexpected Change. Make sure you don't accidentally click on the wrong one. Thank you so much, Group 2, for being here. I appreciate all of your time, your support, and your energy. It has been a pleasure to read for you. I hope you got a lot out of this. I hope we were able to really hash things out, get some confirmation, while also divulging more helpful information. It's been a pleasure to be here, and I hope to connect with you in another video. Bye! Hi my group 3s and welcome. If you chose this crystal or this beautiful tarot card, then this is going to be your reading. It is an incredible deck, this one. It's definitely a standout energy from the other 2 groups. So let's get into it, my group 3s. We're asking Spirit about your next unexpected change. We're going to really delve into today's reading. I'm actually going to start with oracle cards and then we're going to work our way through with some tarot. So I'm just going to put your crystal up here and we're going to get tarot off to the side. Let's move you forward and zoom you out a little bit. So to start your reading, I am going to be shuffling a few oracle decks. It might take a little while, so if you don't have the time or if you don't want to watch me shuffle, feel free to skip ahead. Spirit, tune me into Group 3's energy. What can you tell me about their next unexpected change? What can you tell me about Group 3's next unexpected change? You got 2 cards pretty quickly. The back of the deck we have the Cosmic Network. Oh, if she will focus. She is not having a good time. There it is, the Cosmic Network. Okay, let's leave those cards there for now. Spirit, what is Group 3's next unexpected change? What is Group 3's next unexpected change? Whew. So that was the Cosmos Oracle deck. This is the Wild Unknown Oracle deck as well by Kim Kranz. At the back of the Wild Unknown deck, we have the Orphan. Let's keep going. Spirit, what is Group 3's next unexpected change? What is Group 3's next unexpected change? What is Group 3's next unexpected change? The back of the deck we have Mutable coming out as well. Oops. There are quite a lot of similar themes I'm picking up on for each of the groups, so it could just be a collective energy. That deck was the Celestial Bodies Oracle deck. This is the Aboriginal Dreamtime deck by Mel Brown. What can you tell us about Group 3's next unexpected change? We have Wondrous Opportunities. It's weird how I just read that. I wasn't supposed to read any of them. Yet we have Earth Mother at the back of the deck. I was going to just lay them all out, but that card wanted to be read. Group 3, what is the next unexpected change for Group 3? Okay, I'll put you there. The back of this deck we have I go with the flow and feel my connection to the stream of life. Last deck, Group 3. What is their next unexpected change? Group 3. Okay, we have dream, build castles in the sky. And at the back of the deck, we have action, awaken the warrior woman within. So, where are you? There. I might just zoom you out slightly so we can fit all the cards. Okay. Interesting. We have 3-3-3-3. We have collapse. We have the prayer, which is the number 65. We have the gem, which is the number 56. Oh my gosh, 65 and 56. Look out. We also have I am at home in my body. We have Pluto in shadow. Interesting. This feels like a long time coming for y'all. Or a subconscious manifestation, something that you've been doing in the background. We have 2 as well, that's right. No, I did see 2. Okay. So, I can't really move the tripod, so I'm going to move the camera down a little bit so you can still see all the cards. Hopefully that's okay. Not really. It's a little bit too there. That's probably a little bit better. Yeah, we're just going to deal. We're just going to deal. Okay, so group 3. This is an interesting energy because I feel like your next unexpected change is actually welcome change. I feel like this is the answer to a prayer. Like the other groups felt like tower moments and they felt like they were very destructive, but yours feels like you've been going through destruction and you've been healing since and you've been waiting for results. So your unexpected changes are welcomed, they're manifestations, they're prayers, and it feels like it's a reflection of hard work or choices that were made quite a while ago. So this isn't something that just happened yesterday. This is probably a process that has been evolving for a significant amount of time. That doesn't mean it has to be years for all of you. It could just be a matter of weeks, but energetically, a lot has been invested and we've been growing this. So I do feel that for a lot of you, group 3, there's a strong emphasis on being able to continue some sort of metamorphosis, some sort of change, some sort of evolution, and feeling more like yourself. So I do feel like for some of you, these unexpected changes could involve your physical vessel in order for you to feel more like the person that you are today and kind of disconnect from who you used to be. If we're talking about your physical vessel, I'm seeing an unexpected change in lifestyle, which will happen in tandem with these newfound identity shifts. Now, I don't feel like somebody's telling you to do this, but I do feel like you're taking it on as the next step in your journey. So if we're looking at a change in your health, it's not because there's a sense of doom and a feeling of if you don't do this XYZ, it's not like you have to, an ultimatum. It's more like, well, actually, this is the next step in my journey of growth. And if I want to keep moving forward, I've got to take this next step. I am seeing that for all of you, there is a strong message here of plural changes. It's not just one change, it's multiple shifts in order to get you where you want to be. I do feel like some of this could be about pressure and working very hard, but I think that you've been doing that for some time. So I think that in order for these changes to come into full effect, there may just be one burst of force, as in you may have to just do a big sort of working bee for a short period of time to make it happen. The way that it's being likened is those renovation shows that are very fake, where people, spend 72 hours to renovate a 3-bedroom house, It's like you got to kind of go through these changes very quickly and you're going to be catching your breath afterwards and going like, wow, how did that all happen so fast after I was waiting for so long, after I was sending my prayers out to the universe for so long? I definitely feel like these changes are going to take you a while to mentally adjust to and to emotionally adjust to. But I want you to know that when it comes to the hard work, I don't see you having to do the lifting alone. I'm seeing a strong sense of connection and companionship that will offer you support, especially through physical feats. So I don't think that this has to be a romantic partner for all of you, but they are a companion, someone who's very much there to support your goal and to be a partner and to offer very mutual support in this situation. And so the oracles are indicating that this does feel like the next step for you. It's very firmly about growth. So I hope that that is very helpful, because I'm going to have to pull some tarot now to get more of an understanding. First and foremost, I just want to get these cards up a little bit, and I want to pull tarot to see. Uh-oh, he's got his loudest toy. I got to get rid of that. Excuse me, no. This one outside. This one outside. Good boy. Good boy. It's a bottle. I think you guys used to hear it at the other house, and he just kind of chews on it. So that's not going to be very peaceful. All right, so my group threes, keeping that in mind, group three, I'm probably going to have to really scrub your audio, because we've got a lot of construction work and lawn mowing outside too. So, and plus the dog chewing on an empty plastic bottle. So I apologize in advance, but I'm going to do my best to scrub the audio so that it's clean and tidy. Let's get into it. Let's keep moving forward. Spirit, what else can you tell me about group three's next unexpected changes before we delve into the other questions? We have the King of Crystals. We have the 10 of Crystals reversed. What else can you tell me about group three's next unexpected changes? We also have the 7 of Crystals and the Magician. So, oh my days, lots of air energy. Strong Gemini, strong Virgo. Mercury is overall very present. Your changes are definitely about empowerment, feeling powerful, feeling as though you have a firmer grip on the choices that you have. And I also feel like this Magician is just about creation. So I do firmly believe that these changes are about manifestation. I am seeing a little bit of accountability though with the Magician. So there's that energy of like putting pressure on the situation, really putting your head down and to make it happen. So I can see how with this Magician energy, for a lot of you, you could have to kind of pull your resources together and just take advantage of your wisdom and of your understandings of what to do in this situation to be able to get the best possible outcome here. I can also see with the King of Crystals being upright that a decision is going to have to be made. And I feel like this decision is something that you're very comfortable with. These changes, they don't really feel too unexpected because you seem incredibly resourceful. You seem to be taking it into your stride, and you also seem to be able to turn something incredible out of this. So I feel like you're very focused on doing the best, and you may, if anything, the only thing I could caution you of what I'm seeing so far, we're going to ask more questions, is that you may set the bar really, really high for yourself, really high expectations. You could be hoping for an incredibly gratuitous outcome. And because of that, you're really putting everything into this. You're putting a lot of planning into this. You're making sure that your actions are very careful. And you're also, with the 10 of Crystals, Yoda, you're also making sure that you don't make any mistakes. So I do think that these unexpected changes are a reflection of you being able to make the most out of a situation that could have felt like out. My gosh, so many disruptions. I'm so sorry, group three. I do think that this 10 of Crystals is about you making the most out of a situation that could have felt like a dead end. It could have felt pretty horrible in the heat of it, but I don't think that you've felt that dark in a while. I think that the true low point happened quite a while ago, because now you're just still finding the way forward. You're very focused on the solutions. You're very focused on, you know what, like what happened, but now I just need to know how to move forward and how to make the most out of this. So the Seven of Crystals is talking about the actions that you're likely to take. So the thing about these changes is I don't see you wanting to ask for much help. You're only really going to share it with your close circle, or people who can tangibly contribute support to the circumstance. And you're also going to want to keep it secret from a lot of people. So I do see with the Seven of Crystals a lot of strategy, a lot of careful action, to the point where you could be keeping this from people. You could be trying to hide it from people. And the Seven of Crystals is also talking about the kind of preparations that you make for these changes. So once it happens, it feels like it's all under wraps, you know, behind closed doors. And then anything that you do is going to be about making sure that not too many people know what you're doing. And I do see you making a physical effort away from some sort of communication, away from some sort of community, or away from somebody's watchful eyes. You could be offered another job that you don't want to tell people about first, or you could be given an opportunity that you want to keep private from people that you spend a lot of time with. It's giving like being poached from your workplace and you don't tell anybody, you just accept the job and then quit the next day. That kind of vibe, if that makes sense. So let's have a look now at the main challenge in these unexpected changes, because I'm kind of curious at this point. The other groups were a little bit more obvious in how it was going to be challenging, whereas for you, it feels like a very positive change. What are the main challenges in this unexpected change? We have the Knight of Crystals flying out, so that's another Swords card. We also have the Seven of Wands. What is the main challenge about the next change? We have Justice, that makes a bit of sense. And at the back of the deck, we have the Four of Cups. So I can see with these cards that the main challenge is taking advantage of what is in front of you, only because you are trying to be a little bit maybe diplomatic with that King of Swords and the Justice card. The King of Swords in the previous part of your reading was talking about trying to be fair and trying to make sure that you're doing what is right. And I think that's why Justice is here now too. Your main challenge could be feeling like you need to uphold some sort of agreement, contract, partnership, promise. You feel obliged to do the right thing in this change. And I think with the Seven of Wands here, you are trying to minimize your stress as much as possible. So there is a challenge of doing things smarter, not harder, and of finding creative solutions to any of the challenges that you're experiencing. I do see you being very good at this though. Like, I don't think that you're going to struggle as much as the other groups. I think that this is something that you're going to be very proactive about. With the Knight of Crystals, there is a challenge here of maybe jumping to conclusions really quickly or trying to take action too fast to the point where, you know, you're just securing what is available and not double checking that quoted price to see if there was a more efficient or what's the best word, like amazing bargain. So I do think that, especially with the Four of Cups reverse, you've got to be careful about trying to just get it done and putting an unnecessary amount of pressure on yourself to get it done as quickly as possible. You can afford to kind of take a little bit of time weighing out your decisions before you make them. But I do think you're putting pressure on yourself to get things done really quickly and to get them done to a high standard. So the challenges don't seem to be huge issues. They more so just seem to be things to watch out for, because I do see you being very resourceful and creative in how you overcome a lot of your challenges. But that contract is something that you might want to get legal advice on, or that your circumstances, you might need to seek legal counsel just to get some sort of advice before you proceed. and ensuring that you are upholding your end of this deal or this contract or this partnership or this agreement or this promise, whatever it is. You want to do things the right way. And so I think that's what might slow things down, is at the end of it, it could feel like it was a very close call and you just kind of skated through by the skin of your teeth type of thing. That could be a challenge, is like, because you're doing it the right way, it's going to feel like it didn't happen as fast as it could have. So, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I do see success still. And if anything, I see you being the bigger person in order to get this done, in order to maximize the results for yourself and for whoever else is impacted by these changes. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for the challenge. Let's have a look at the main opportunity, which is something that we'll cover more in the extended as well. So we're not going to delve on it, I'm not going to dwell on it, should I say, for too long. Your reading's coming out so fast because it's really quite straightforward compared to the other groups. What is group 3's main opportunity out of this change? We have the Knight of Stars reversed. Stars of Pentacles, if you're curious. We have Strength reversed. Okay, there is a card on the ground, excuse me. It is reversed, but let me just see. Do you want this upright or reverse, Spirit? Upright. We have the Flower of Life, and at the back of the deck is the Self. So these are supplementary cards, these two in this deck. The Self card is very reflective, so it almost looks like a mirror when you hold it up to yourself. So, interesting energies in the Flower of Life. The main opportunity is to gain some sort of higher, I want to say awareness. It's not like you're awakening or anything. It's more like with the Flower of Life, you're feeling more connected to what you are being given. You feel like you're on the right track. You feel like things are happening for a reason and that what you are doing energetically is meaningful. And you feel very connected to your purpose and to the effort or the task at hand. With the Self card being here, there is a strong sense of doing what is right by you, for you. So I feel like the main opportunity is to really take a chance on self and to do something amazing for yourself as well. This Self card is very much about being able to look in the mirror and feel like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm actually doing a great, what's the best word for it? Like a good deed for me. It is also the number 22, so I am still getting that idea of like partnership and union as well. But because this is the Self card, it maybe just feels like we are coming home to ourselves and feeling more comfortable in who we are, what we're trying to do, and why we're doing it all. It's more than just finding your purpose though. It's more like you've just found your sense of self. The Knight of Stars reversed is an interesting energy. It's like a lesson about the journey rather than the outcome. So I feel like the biggest opportunity here with that card is mostly just being able to enjoy the process and finding ways to appreciate the little things along the way instead of being so hyper fixated on the outcome to the point where we lose sight of why we're doing this or of what this shift was all about. I think that this change is something that you're really going to enjoy because it kind of shifts the way that you focus on the things that you want, especially with Strength reversed. I can see how the Strength card is very much about finding a new way to embrace your nature and your qualities. Usually when that card is upright, it's almost indicating the need to be compassionate and patient and very like engaged and aware of what your triggers may be so that you're not overreacting. And where I feel like in this position, it's almost saying just have grace and compassion for yourself. Like you're only human, you're doing the best that you can do. And if anything, there may even be a new way of like looking at yourself or forging your sense of identity because of this change. Now, in terms of like a tangible opportunity, this Strength card is also talking about a huge shift in priorities and focus, taking it away from something that could have felt or been observed to be like superficial. So instead of being so focused on how it looks to be in this position or to have that type of car or to live in that certain neighborhood, you're more focused on what it feels like to be where you're at and to have this and to be granted that. And so the change in pride seems to be a big thing. The main opportunity here is definitely feeling proud of yourself, but proud of yourself in ways that you didn't know were possible. And I can see that with the flower of life too. The flower of life is that idea of being connected to everything. It is an ancient Sorry, I can hear my dog barking. It is an ancient geometric pattern that is replicated and found in many different natural things, whether that's patterns in our chemistry or our biology, or like the physical appearance of certain formations. I really believe that this is about feeling more connected to who you are ultimately, but also to the life that you lead and to what you're doing. Feeling like it is actually contributing and it's all worth it, you know, which is a big deal. This is a huge sense of like gratification for something that feels like it's been a process, like it's been happening for you, my group threes. I had to think there for a second. So let's have a look at your main lesson now. We're really just whizzing through your reading too, by the way. Let's have a look at your main lesson. For my group threes, what is their main lesson? Group three, what is their main lesson? We have death reversed. We have the Three of Wands reversed. And we have the Queen of Cups. So I'm just going to see what that is. Okay, group three. Let's try to finish this without any more interruptions. I'm going to wipe my nose though, speaking of. So we had the Death card reversed, Three of Wands reversed, Queen of Cups upright, and the Six of Cups upright. So there's a lot of emotions in this part of your reading. I definitely feel like your main lesson has a lot to do with pivoting and maybe finding the upside or the downside or the flip side, you know, without making it sound positive or negative. Maybe this is about finding the flip side in a situation that was very unexpected, unplanned, and unwarranted. Like maybe you've been experiencing a trail of events that feel like they were not at all what you had originally designed for yourself. Doesn't mean they were good or they were bad. Maybe they were a mixture of both when we talk about how they made us feel. But I definitely think with the Death card reversed, this is a lesson of releasing and being able to find ways to create meaning in situations that can feel like they're out of your control. This could also be a lesson about being able to focus and attach yourself to exactly what you want in a situation that feels very much forced upon you. So sometimes this can look like us having to go through something and then making the conscious effort to choose what our thoughts are focused on. Because we feel this and we feel that, we see this, we're processing that, information is coming in from that way. And technically, there is a lot of reasons at any given moment to feel down or sad or anxious or frustrated or angry. But I feel like this process has taught you how to program yourself to feel a specific type of way, how to force yourself to look at the flip side and to make sure that you're not just hyperfixated on everything else that could be very consuming and frustrating and out of your control in a harmful way. I also think with the Three of Wands reverse that the main lesson in this overall unexpected change is about being able to redirect and pivot your energy, so that if you do hit a brick wall, or if you do feel like things aren't working out for you, or they're not moving in the direction that you want them to, you are ultimately finding a new horizon, or a new vantage point, or a new way of being able to seek solutions. You're maybe not being able to find a way out immediately, but you're staying curious, you're staying receptive, you're staying open. And if something is not contributing to the plan or your energy, you're asking questions, or you're looking for different answers. So this Three of Wands reversed for me is a feeling of, okay, so I waited a long time for that to happen and we didn't really get very far. So what can I do now? What do I need to do now? I need to maybe think about looking in a different direction. I need to maybe think about making this happen in a different way, or changing that goal altogether, or readjusting my expectations to ensure that I'm not wasting my own time. And sometimes this is also about trusting the process, because we may think, okay, I'm going to do this and it's going to take me 3 years to climb the ladder and become an executive marketing officer. And then, you put your hard work in there, you roll your sleeves up, you prove yourself, and you land an amazing job with a very attentive and motivated community of colleagues around you. And, before you know it, that goal did not take 3 years. It took 6 months. Like, maybe this is about recognizing that if something is meant to be, it's not going to be that hard. If you're meant to be somewhere, the universe will make it easy for you to be there. And if you're not meant to be somewhere, the universe will start to put challenges in your way to show you that things could be easier elsewhere. I do think that this Three of Wands reverse is ultimately about not giving up. When you're facing adversity, challenges, shifts, this is about stepping back and asking yourself, well, what is this trying to show me? Do I need to pivot, or do I need to think about adjusting my expectations, or do I need to think about maybe switching the outcome up altogether and readjusting my goals? There's a big energy here of being able to be self-reflective and aware of whether the energy you're putting into a situation is actually paying off for you and giving you hope, or at least feeding into your aspirations. I do think with this Queen of Cups at the end of your spread over here, there is a strong message of another lesson being compassion, kindness, empathy, and intuitive responses to situations. So if you're feeling like, you know what, I put a lot of effort into this, or I put a lot of energy into this, why is it not working out the way that I had originally hoped, planned, or designed? This Queen of Cups is saying, at the end of the day, always trust how you feel in any given situation, because although we cannot predict or understand how somebody else is going to act, react, or behave, or feel, we can at the very least know that about ourselves. So staying connected to self, in that you are staying true to your feelings and you're being aware of what is within your control and of what you can do, is the best thing that you can offer in any given situation when it comes to making the most out of what is given to you, whether it feels like it was just thrown in your face or handed to you on a silver platter. This Queen of Cups is a strong awareness of you and your immediate environment, and maybe that intuitive ability allows you to pick up on the potential of what somebody else is likely to say or do. Maybe that intuitive ability is also offering you possibilities of how they might react or how they might be feeling. But ultimately, that kind of ability is there to guide you in the choices that you make and in how you react to what you're feeling at any given moment. With the Six of Cups at the back of the deck and the Queen of Cups, I can't help but feel like another key lesson is about going through these motions of change with the important people in your life, and how that can really offer a strengthening sort of support to your key relationships. I see our Six of Cups as a sense of coming home. It's almost that really beautiful, stable, deep love that is kind of knitted in the fabrics of our upbringing. So therefore it almost indicates like a childhood friend or somebody who's been in your life for a very, very long time. Another major lesson seems to be about the sentimental side of your being, and that idea of you being able to go through these things with very important, treasured people. I do believe that moving forward, you may be learning how to ask for support and help more. You may be learning how to be kind and patient towards those around you who have been able to support you during some very stressful times. And you may be aware of who your loyal sort of ride or dies are now, because they were there when you needed them the most, when you didn't have a lot that you could offer them. And so now you feel like you have this very unbreakable bond with that person or with those people, plural. I do think that that Six of Cups is a strong connection to your sentimental side overall, and to the side of you that needs connection, because you are a human being. We all feed that need differently, but I think that this main lesson is about making sure that you have connection throughout the moments in your life, the milestones, the challenges, the setbacks, the goals, the achievements, the accomplishments, all of it, the celebrations, the low moments, everything. So there's a beautiful sense of coming full circle in a relationship, going through the downs and then coming back into a very high moment and feeling like, wow, like we did this because we were there for each other. So that's ultimately what I am seeing for you, my group threes. I'm going to take this into your extended reading now, where we will have a look at your next opportunities specifically. It will be a fairly extensive reading, but just focusing on that, and we will get advice. We're going to ask other questions. I'm going to get as much information about your next opportunities as we can, but that's the overall topic. So if the first part of your reading did resonate and you want to get more information about your next opportunities, the link to your extended reading is in the description box. It will take you to my website. So please make sure that you click on the right group. That website page hosts, I think we're at like hundreds of videos now. I've been posting on my website for a year and a half, nearly a year and 4 months. So there's a lot of content there. So please make sure that you click on the right group. You can use the search feature if you need some help, if you don't want to scroll that far, or if you're on a mobile device, you may choose to switch to a desktop instead, or a tablet that has a desktop version, so that you can search. It makes it a little bit easier than having to scroll through. But just remember, you are group 3 of the Your Next Unexpected Change reading. If you click on that, it will take you to your extended video automatically. So thank you so much, group 3, for being here. I really appreciate your time, your energy, and your support. I hope this reading was helpful. I hope we did fill in the gaps, as well as maybe paint a bigger picture. You're definitely one of the quicker groups, but I hope we were able to get as much information as we could for you in this free portion. Please look after your beautiful self, and I hope to connect with you in another video. Bye!